What's up? How you guys doing out there? Thanks for clicking on the page, tuning in the tip of the day. Listen to what I have to say. We're out here. Hopefully no bikers get in the way, you know, we're out at the park. So let's get into it. We're just out here in nature, out early, enjoying it. I don't know, it's just something about when all the plants are just waking up with the sun. It just feels like there's a lot more good air out here, a lot more good energy. But all right, so brings me to the tip of the day for today. The tip of the day for today is learn pranayama, or at least learn about prana or chi, or I mean there's a lot of different names for it, but basically the idea, I heard this from somebody, I can't remember quite who. I've heard it from a few people, but it's a story of like some fish, all right, and there's like two young fish hanging out, and then a big OG fish comes by, and he says, what's up, boys, how's the water? And they go, one of the fish looks at the other one and goes, what's water? And the other one goes, I don't know. And that story is kind of a story about prana. Prana is just life energy, which is all around us. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in the water, not the water, but I'm in the prana right now. You know what I'm saying? But if I was a fish, it's basically like a fish will be in the water and doesn't know. That's just what it's always been in. And we're the same way. We have all this life energy around us, all this air around us, and it's just, you know, it's always been here, so we take it for granted. But you can actually use that. And if you notice at the beginning of a lot of my videos, what am I out doing? I'm like breathing in and just soaking it all in. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that to absorb the good life energies from out here in the nature, so I can be at a higher vibe, so whenever I make the videos, I can pass that feeling on to you guys, and you can feel good wherever you're at. So, but, you know, I'm not gonna get too deep into pranayama. Pranayama is extremely complex subject because it's basically breathing exercises, and there's, you know, countless different breathing exercises to do different things. There's breathing exercises to calm you down. There's breathing exercises to hype you up. I mean, there's so many breathing exercises, but you know, it's amazing for you, just opening up all those channels, opening up all that energy, and, you know, breathing in through the nose. Just try to take a deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you breathe out through the mouth, just really feel it pushing, and just try to hold it for a minute, and then until it gets a little uncomfortable, and then it helps too to like move with it. You know, a lot of times I'll do a lot of breathing, and I'll get to like really feeling, like you can really feel the air, and when you do it a lot, you know, you'll really start to see like your hand leaving almost like a streak in the air. It's kind of weird, but I know it sounds crazy to a lot of y'all, but if you start looking into it and start doing it, you'll be like, wow, I can't believe this is real, and it's been here my whole life. And I was originally introduced to the Wim Hof, or to pranayama, through the Wim Hof breathing technique, because I watched, you know, owning a CBD company, I started diving deep into all types of like health things, and I saw this one chiropractor online on a podcast, and he was talking about all this different stuff, and I was like, man, all this stuff sounds so crazy. But my thing is, I never count anything out until I can poke a hole in it. When I hear something, I try to poke a hole in it first. And this guy was on a podcast talking about like 2 hours of different like natural healing stuff, which all sounded crazy to me. But whenever I looked any of it up or tried to poke holes in it, I couldn't do it. I was like, man, this stuff actually makes sense. So one of the things he was talking about there was the Wim Hof breathing technique. So I started trying that, and basically what it is, Wim Hof has a video online. It's a 10-minute breathing exercise, but basically you take like 30 heavy breaths constantly, like, and then when you get to the last one, you breathe out and you hold it. and you hold your breath for like, you start out with a minute, then go to a minute and a half. And I know a lot of y'all are like, man, I can't hold my breath for a minute and a half. I thought that too. And now that I've been doing it for a while, sometimes I'll do it and hold my breath 2-3 minutes and it won't even faze me. I'm just feeling good. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not breathing. Because what you do is you get the energy, so you get all that oxygen so pumped up that you really don't need to breathe for a while. Your body just starts, you know, letting it all out, and it's like you don't need to take in anymore for a little bit. And all that is just so good for your brain, good for the immune system. And this is such a deep topic. You know, I'm gonna talk more about it later on, but I just wanted to make y'all aware of it because I feel like nowadays it's extremely important because, you know, you have this life energy, this prana, this chi all around you. And nowadays it's like, you know, due to certain circumstances, you know, like don't breathe in the air. You know, people are thinking the air is dangerous, and you know, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not telling anybody to do anything, or, you know, I'm not a medical professional, but I'm just saying, you know, if the air you're breathing out is the air you're breathing in, that's not healthy. Because I mean, you can even feel it when you breathe in, that's cool, and then when you breathe out, it's hot. And I'll even sometimes a lot of times I do like freestyle pranayama, where I just go with the flow and just breathe and just soak it all in and just, you know, focus on the feeling and just kind of go with it. And sometimes I'll breathe and just try to get to where my breath isn't hot. I'll just, and you notice the more and more you get that like nasty hot breath out, the better and better you'll just start to feel. But, you know, and I'm gonna give y'all one little thing to try. Oh man, look at that spider web. That's crazy. Probably can't see on the video, but it's a big spider web there. But all right. So here's a good one to try to calm down. You know, and it's good for getting the energy pumping. So what you do is you breathe in one nostril and breathe out the other nostril. And you try to do it as slow as possible. And then when you do that, then you breathe in this nostril, breathe out that nostril. And when you're doing that, you want to be focusing on where's the air going. You know what I'm saying? Where's the air going into? Where's the air coming out of? And so, like, I'm going to show y'all how to do it. Like, so you, and then, see? So I've been doing it. That's why no boogers came out or anything. The first time you do it, you might have a bunch of snot come out. You might have a bunch of mucus come out. But, I mean, that's stuff you need to be getting out anyways. Like, you don't need to have all that just in there. And when I first started doing this, I actually figured out I haven't been breathing out my right nostril for a long time. So when you first start doing it, you may have to mash your nose in a little bit, or like move your nose a little bit just to get like just a tiny bit of air through. And whatever you can get through, you know, just work with that. And eventually, I mean, you do pranayama enough, you'll start feeling like bones in your face like popping and getting back in alignment so you can get the air better. And it's like when you start doing this stuff, you'll start thinking more clearly. I mean, there's so many levels to it. That's how come I'm saying, that's why I'm not trying to teach you pranayama, just a little bit, but I'm telling you to learn pranayama, because this is something you need to dive into yourself, and you need to figure out, you know, what works for you. Like I said, I get more and more into it every day, and I'm gonna probably be talking about it again with you guys. But, you know, this is just kind of the introduction of, you know, how I got into it and how much it's changed my life. And I'll tell you something funny too. When I first started learning about this stuff, I mean, you can ask Portia, I was literally everywhere we went, I was like all the time. You gotta be careful too, because you do that too much, you can, you know, get kind of dizzy, get kind of out of it, and like lose your balance, fall down. That's how come a lot of times when you're learning these heavy breathing techniques, especially like the Wim Hof, you want to do it sitting down, or you want to do it laying down or something like that, because if you pass out, it's not dangerous. You'll start breathing, you know, you'll be breathing while you're passed out and then just wake back up. It's only dangerous if you're standing up and then you pass out and like hit your head or something like that, or trying to do it in water or something crazy. So, you know, you just want to be real safe when you do it. But back to my point about me breathing heavy all the time, eventually I came to learn that when you're doing pranayama, you have to balance the hard breathing practices with the subtle. So the main thing is just conscious breath and just, you know, acknowledging that energy. But you don't want to be all the time just like, say you do that for a while, then you want to even it out with some breaths like, and like, I'm telling you, if you ain't ever tried it, just like that breathing out right there, it just felt so relaxing. And you know, that's part of the reason we get out in nature every morning, because I mean, you got all these wonderful trees, all these plants. These are all putting off oxygen. I'm putting off CO2. So, you know, we have that exchange, that mutual exchange. So by me coming out here and breathing, I'm getting all that fresh oxygen that is, you know, freshly made. So, you know, that's the tip of the day. Start learning pranayama. You know, find a place where you feel safe breathing and practice it. And I mean, I feel safe breathing everywhere, but you know. All right, well, I love you guys. Have a great day.